What's good YouTube, MetaSteel here. With the release of Mythical Island, Grass finally got its time to shine in the meta, as Celebi became one of the most popular decks to use alongside cards like Superior that let it flip coins for days. However, as the meta shifted, Grass quickly started falling off from tier 1, and it wasn't until they started implementing the use of Exeggutor that the deck started climbing and people began to realize that the best Grass Pokemon in the game was actually Exeggutor. And the game has not changed since Spacetime released, as Exeggutor EX is once again the Pokemon that's keeping Grass on the map. Although I don't want to take any credit from Yamega, as it's a great card in its own right, it's just not doing or filling the role that Exeggutor does. Thus is what the deck that you see in front of you today, as Celebi has completely fallen off to like a supporter in the deck, and Exeggutor is basically in the front and center as he belongs, as he deserves, as the card is such a tank. And granted, I'm aware that the reason this list is so popular, is doing so well currently, is because of the format shifting from Spacetime to just being a bunch of Darkrai decks, whether it's Darkrai with Magnezone, or Darkrai with Greninja, or Darkrai with Weavile. And what happens is that although it's a dark Pokemon, it has the weakness of Bug, which in this game is Grass, unlike Weezing and stuff that was weak to fighting. Thus, Grass decks get a boost out of basically sort of how Hitmonlee got a boost when Gyarados was good. Thus, the amount of play that Exeggutor saw in this past weekend was immense, and the numbers proved it, as Exeggutor won multiple events or gets tournaments, online tournaments, whether it's small ones with 80 players or ones as big as I think 600 I saw, and it was winning left and right because of how much abundance of Darkrai decks there was. Surely I do believe that the meta would shift again, similar like it did with Mythical Island, and you'll see some drop off in Exeggutor, and it'll be basically a seesaw of okay, Darkrai decks rise, so Exeggutor start rising, thus Charizards and Gyarados start rising, and it'll just keep flipping like that. But as far as it being a meta deck, I don't believe it's going anywhere. Exeggutor is going to compete a powerhouse because it does keep Darkrai's in check, and it's just super strong. So with all that introduction, let's get into the actual reason this I guess to the card choices here. And again, like I said, Celebi's more of a backline. You kind of build it up, but we're focusing on just opening Execute, going into Exeggutor, and dealing as much damage as possible while having a big wall, which is supported by the Erica, the Cape to give extra HP, which lets you survive attacks from as strong as Infernape's 140. We also have Potion for the same reason. We just want sustainability as we build up and just smack face as fast as possible. Leaf and X-Speed is to kind of smoothly switch between our Exeggutor and our Celebi. It was one of the cards that in testing I kind of considered cutting, but it did its job when it needed to. But in form of Cyrus and Sabrina, those cards are just insane. I almost want to max it out to 2 and 2, or at least another Cyrus, since you are being so aggressive off the rip. Your opponent tends to back out their Pokemon or try to get it out the way. And with more Cyruses, you could freely use them more aggressively. Not that the way I have it right now with Cyrus and Sabrina. You kind of have to pick and choose when you use it and make sure that you're going for the knockout that sometimes Exeggutor can't guarantee because it's 40 or 80, and you don't want to use your Cyrus loosely unless you have more. So that's something to think of, as well as the line of Pokemon. Since I have such a small pool, Pokemon communication sometimes felt a little too cloggy, but trust me, when you needed it, it's there. So that's for the deck that I'm running. The rest of staples, we got research and Pokeballs for the consistency. But there's also things to consider as that seesaw continues, because this deck is built entirely with the concept of I'm gonna beat Darkrai. But if you do expect more things like Charizard, you do want to consider playing obviously the Mythical Island EX, and the way you would fit that is easily either cutting on an X-Speed or a Leaf. But this card is great. It's just I wasn't expecting too much Charizard, and I didn't see any Charizard in the PvP, as it's not as popular. But if you were to go to tournament setting and kind of worry, you would play this as a one-of alongside that Celebi. Another card I saw some people playing that has a lot of use, especially in the sustainability category. You could even cut down Potion to 1, or like I said, Leaf or X-Speed is probably the most cuttable cards. Shaman gives you more longevity as you start, that 10 heal starts adding up, and if some lists that even had 2 of them, if you put on 2, you start healing a lot too. Again, those are decks, these are cards that help more on other matchups, not necessarily the Darkrai that's the most popular. As you'll see in the gameplay, we faced multiple Darkrai's, and it was just they didn't stand a chance. It was too much aggression, and the weakness made it where whether we were flipping heads or tails on this Exeggutor, we were dealing so much damage that they couldn't keep up. Regardless, if you guys have any questions with the list that I'm providing or some of the changes that I suggested, Feel free to comment down below. If you enjoy the content, please consider liking and subscribing. And above all else, stay pro. And with the perfect start is the egg with the evolution, and we start from there against fighting. This is like not the only deck, but one of the few decks that just loves to go first. Mainly because of how aggressive you can on the once you get back your turn. I think I'm holding this one because of him only. Although, yeah, I'll get punished by a red or a Mars, but most people aren't playing that, so I'm gonna play around something that's very unlikely. Okay, so this is the Cranidos fighting deck. Right, not much going on there, but we're a lucky coin flip away from like the game being over. Unlucky, but still. I guess if we don't see him only by the next turn, we can start digging for the next egg. The chances they have like the entire line is pretty high. Yeah. It's crazy like the difference between had we gotten heads last turn or not, but okay, you gotta go for the 30 damage here. Oh, or not. Okay. Let's see what we draw here. Celebi. Which is perfect to start building up. Does make the communications completely like useless at this point, but I think we're fine with that. I guess if I drop Pokeball, it's kind of live, right? Well, there is an aspect to luck to this deck on how aggressive you are, but there I don't have much of an idea of what would have been better. This is kind of scary now. Yeah, luckily we have like the ways to heal, so we don't care much for the 30 that this Hitmonchan is about to deal. Yeah, you see, so here we go, communication. For the guaranteed Exeggutor, and we Pokeball for the execute. We keep building up Celebi, and realistically we have to use the Erica. Because otherwise the Rampardos just comes in and knocks us out. And this heads or tails is still a knockout, so of course we get the heads when it doesn't matter. A turn or two ago would have been great, but we got our first point. They have the option of going Marshadow for 100, but then we do get to the guaranteed knockout off of Marshadow, unless they potion or cape it. So we'll see what they decide to do with that. Riolu, okay. Yeah, so they went for the 100, which is fine. Our win condition is probably going to be this Riolu, by the way, whether we Sabrina or something. There's not really a reason to Erica here, because we get knocked out by the Rampardos regardless. I guess a way of looking at it would have been to have Leaf and switch into Exeggutor, but I think building up Celebi is more important. So I think we're going to give him the 2 points here. And we'll hold Leaf, yeah, let's do that. Can't wait for another head that doesn't mean anything. Okay, we'll take that. Yeah, I guess the correct play, granted they probably have Cyruses and Sabrinas of their own, would have been to leave and back out into the other Exeggutor, so that we can knock out Marshadow and not be one shot from this Rampardos. But yeah, well, the best we can hope for is a Sabrina of our own. Granted, we're only playing one. We've got 8 cards left. Yeah. Or we could get 3 heads with the Celebi, right? My fear of going Exeggutor first is if they have Sabrina, we get one shot. But I guess we get one shot regardless, right? I guess we'll react to what we draw. The hope, of course, is Sabrina. Research is not going to help us, but the rest isn't going to help us either anyways. There's Cyrus, there's Potion. I guess the correct play was to just back out here. If they have Sabrina, they have it, but I think hoping to get 3 out of 4 coin flips is a little... Actually, we only need half of them. I misplayed. I forgot about the weakness. I should have just taken my risk with getting the 50-50 off of Celebi. And they've seen so much of their deck, the Sabrina's like guaranteed to be there. Unless they're not playing it at all. Okay, communication. So they're slow rolling or they just don't have it. It'd have to be the 2 other cards in their hand. Okay. It seems like they don't have it by the way they're playing it out. Okay, perfect. But yeah, regardless of this not we're winning this game, I'm gonna leave it in the video because I did misplay. I just needed 2 heads from Celebi. That's the play I should have done. But we'll take it. Alright, going second. Against Darkness this time. Open Celebi. It's not ideal, but it's not the worst. We have the Pokeball anyways, right? Let's see here. On paper, we have like the complete advantage on this deck, so hopefully I get to prove that. Okay, there's Darkrai. Alright, so outside of like not knowing what they have, it does seem like they have like a pretty good hand there. We're definitely doing this. What I'm contemplating is not putting the execute down. But I think it's not the worst play either. Because maybe it like makes them feel comfortable swinging with the Spiritomb. And we do have Potion to like nullify a Cyrus play. Alright, so research means that there's not gonna be any like Dawn, no crazy Dawn plays. Let's see, Rocky Helmet on Spiritomb. Alright, so that's the route they're going for. Again, we do have the potion to kind of like nullify that if we wanted to. So we're definitely going on the aggressive with Celebi. I'm gonna go potion here on the execute. But I'm also gonna go Sabrina. This might be a little too aggressive. But I feel like the pressure that it applies is going to be significant. And the most they could deal next turn would be 70 from the Weavile. That then we Erica back and then we're kind of like still in it. Here he's contemplating what to put, which is interesting. Might show that he has like a leaf in hand or something. or some kind of form. The Darkrai up front is kind of weird. Let's see, we got coin flips in our favor. I'll take it, honestly. That makes it where we only need one heads next turn. Depending on what they do, of course. And in terms of finding Exeggutor, we have, out of how many cards in deck? Out of 12 cards in deck, we have a Pokeball that guarantees it, drawing him outright, or drawing Execute as is. So that's 4 cards that guarantee it, and then you have both researchers still in deck. So it's not guaranteed, but it's a pretty good chance of seeing it. They went Pokemon. What they're looking for is I don't know, it could be anything really. Maybe send back a Weavile for something. I'm surprised by their decision to put out Darkrai, if I'm gonna be honest. There's another one. They'll probably put energy on the Darkrai here. Or the Leaf, which I mentioned last turn. That was the other alternative I assumed they might have. Goes back to the Spirit Tomb. Yeah, okay, so they're at 1 card in hand, which is like I guess the positive of the situation. Alright, so research. Although research here doesn't seem like the proper play. Because if we swing at Spirit Tomb, we go down to 70 and then we get 1 shot here. So I think we'll go Erica instead. Yeah, let's go Erica here. That way, once we hit Spirit Tomb and their Darkrai, the most we go down to is 90. And once we take out Spirit Tomb, we're 1 damage away from, like, the victory. Okay, like, worst case scenario is that we don't knock out Spirit Tomb, but luckily we did. Yeah, so now energy on Darkrai and swinging with... Actually, the only way they could put the additional 20 is if they have Dawn as that last card. And we're also now in a position where drawing Cyrus at any point can also give us the victory here. Okay, Giant Cape on the Weavile. Is it understandable? Does the math change at all? I don't believe so, right? We still needed 3 heads. That also is interesting. Yeah, that's an incorrect play by them. Because again, the most they could do next turn is 90. They needed to pressure the Celebi and hope to, like, that the Execute doesn't go anywhere, I guess. Like, I know this makes it look like that was the correct play, but it wasn't. Like, they stopped the Exeggutor, but the Celebi's the problem in this situation. Okay, then here, guaranteed Execute. We could even potion back to full health. And yeah, there's a reason why this deck is doing so well, and it was the rise of Darkrai. And insult to injury, hit for 170. The cave didn't change the math, so yeah. GG's. Alright, going first. Against Dark, so... And, wow, okay. I won't say I auto-win this, but... It's pretty close, honestly. Ways we could lose it is, let's see. Okay, they started Darkrai, never mind. No way of losing it. Like, one way of losing it is them going second. They have, like, if they're playing a Farfetch'd or something. And have Dawn. It's quite the perfect hand, but yeah, that would out... Or beat us, I mean. We'll go Pokeball. Hopefully it's Celebi, but... Another... Egg, I think that's worth putting down. Yeah. Just in case... I don't know. Wait, what? Like double X speed in the play I just explained? Alright, so no Dawn, shenanigans, nothing crazy. This art of Darkrai. Actually, Darkrai as a whole is just... That's a monster single vibe though. Interesting. So they're gonna use this Darkrai as the wall. They might back up with Leaf next turn to Druddigon. No point in Sabrina because they will just bring out but also no need to heal, so we'll research here. We get Omega punished by anybody playing like what's this card called? Mars or red card right now, but here, oof, a heads hits for 100 damage. Grant, so if they don't heal or nothing, we have like a guaranteed knockout next turn. Okay, there's the research. So no leaf. So it's safe to say there's probably a knockout here. And we have to keep in mind that they're swinging for 100 next turn. If they go Darkrai and such. Alright, so basically we're in like the perfect position to just win. And we could search up the other Exeggutor, but I think building up Celebi's probably not actually. I think how much HP these eggs have is probably worth more than in the Celebi. But yeah, next turn you go 20. There's no Brokey to worry about. What we could do is potion though. Feed here. And this will take the free knockout here, and then we're basically guaranteed the win because we could go Sabrina and follow it up with Cyrus, or just like straight up get the knockout. It's basically checkmate due to our build up and our hand. Yeah, we don't care much for Druddigon, although we could just swing through it as well. Yeah, it's GG. It was too much advantage, and that's that he doesn't even know our hand, so GG's. All right, going first, which is ideal against Electric. Okay, and this hand is very nice. Let's see if what they're on. Pikachu EX. I actually haven't seen a Pikachu in quite a while, so should be fun. We got Pokeball, which we will use first, and then research. There's another egg. There's the research. There's reasons not to put the egg down, but alright, so this turn, the most they could do is charge pass, and then we start hitting with the Exeggutor. If we get aheads, we get really ahead, and if we don't, then we start playing a game of chicken really, cat and mouse almost. Alright, so this same start basically as we did. Well, not literally. Right? Pokeball research. There's Blitzel. Okay, so they're on Pachirisu, so it's not just Pikachu. Alright, so they have their whole bench loaded, so they will be ready to hit for 90 next turn. Let's see how it goes for us. We have our own research, which we will use. Hopefully we see cards like Erica, Celebi, stuff like that. There's Leaf, Cyrus. Also not the worst. I feel like heads here is gonna be such a huge difference maker, and we got it perfect. I think barring them having a potion or something that would force us to get another heads, I think this is game changing. Although they're probably on Cape, that's another basically an additional potion. Let's see what they end up doing. Double potion also helps us in a way, because if they hit for 90... Actually, if they go for the hit for 90, they have no way of hitting again next turn if we're able to knock out Pikachu. Alright, so they're putting us on better have the heads again. Or none of the above. That's crazy. Okay. You gotta assume they're gonna go for the execute in the back. Although there's no guarantee, of course. Yep. Which luckily we could potion. There's the Erica. Okay. We have options. One of them being potion here for sure. No doubts about that. Can also just, I guess, keep building this one up. The one in the back doesn't do nothing. We could Cyrus and try to win that coin flip, or we could just pressure the Substrika. The fact, if it wasn't a coin flip, or if I played multiple Cyrus, I would have done that. But let's just go for the Substrika, and that's another coin flip in our favor. Which is kind of scary because it makes me feel like when it matters, it's gonna be like, where are the coin flips? But let's see what they decide to do here. Okay, Sabrina. Yeah, so they're definitely going for the Pikachu play. Which I feel benefits us a lot more than it benefits them. Because like, if we get lucky and get a third heads in a row, this Pikachu can't, like they have no follow-up that could actually attack us. So let's see what we get here. We've gone through, like, the Celebi's not likely, but if we get it, I'm not gonna complain. Alright, yeah, not gonna do much here, just straight up swing. And hope for the heads. 3 in a row. Can't get them all. Alright, so this is a little awkward. Luckily we have Potion and Erica. But he's gonna be able to hit us for 90 and set up. Realistically, thanks to the Erica, I'm pretty sure we just win this, right? Yeah, this should just be game. Also, this guarantees Celebi. Which is like the beauty of Pokemon communication. Go here. Start building that up, although it won't come up. As we go Erica here. We could even go Potion, but I'm gonna hold it. Yeah, XP Potion. Let's just get our knockout. And then we have the Cyrus to pull out Substrika. Which was the importance of holding Cyrus, because had I pulled out that Pikachu and flipped tails, then I would be in the same position that we are now without a way to like guarantee the like force out the one shot. And their turn here doesn't matter. Granted, they don't know that, so they're playing it to the best of their ability. I like that. That's that flare. Yeah, I have that flare for my coughings. Oh, obviously with the dark type instead. But yeah. Alright, we won't waste their time. Let's go. Cyrus. Man, that card, it's probably the best card that came out of the new set, besides Magnezone. And Magnezone wouldn't be as good as it is if it wasn't for the genetic Apex Magneton. I always butcher that name, I'm sorry. But GG's to our opponent. They played it as best as they could, but we just had the outs and we started way too aggressive.